Hi, everyone. Just a reminder before the episode begins, we are doing a watch along for the Chelsea versus Arsenal game tomorrow. And it's going to be a really amazing game, in my opinion. It'll be very exciting. So I hope you join us. And our last watch along was made possible because people tuned in and, we got to know some of you. So that was really exciting for us to know that there are people out there listening and who are engaging with our content. So I hope you tune in for this one as well. And I hope that you enjoy the episode. And remember to like and subscribe if you're new. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you lovely folk out there. It is an amazing week in the WSL because we have a blockbuster fixture. It is a London derby for the records, I reckon. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Some people are saying that it's the final title decider. That remains to be a question considering how far Chelsea are ahead of Arsenal. But it's an exciting game nonetheless. We have with us my wonderful co-host Kai. Kai, also a Chelsea fan, ardent Chelsea fan. Kai, are you nervous about this game? Are you excited? How are you feeling?
I'm definitely excited. I think it's going to be really interesting because both teams seem to be doing really well. Uh,
Yeah.
I am a little less nervous than I usually am for a London derby for this fixture. I mean, obviously, like you don't want to lose to Arsenal, like never ever. But that's just not how football works. But at the same time, honestly, Arsenal have more to lose if they don't pick up points from this game than Chelsea. So what that will do to them, we'll have to wait and see that kind of pressure. How they respond to that pressure will be interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this game. Yes.
Yeah, as a neutral who hates both clubs, um, I can't I just can't pick a winner, but I desperately want Chelsea to drop points simply because I just want the league to be more slightly more interesting. Like it is interesting right now for second, third, and fourth because Arsenal, United, and City are just like duking it out now,
Yeah.
especially after United beat City last week. So it's
Mm.
just that part of the table is very interesting. But Chelsea just like moved so far ahead of the pack. I kind of want to drag them back into this scuffle.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Arsenal comes out firing and we see a really great game.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think, see, if I were Arsenal, like, you literally have nothing to lose. And you also need to keep in mind that, um, you know, there is that fight for that second position that's still going on. So even if it is not about winning the title, it's about getting like an easier route to the Champions League, right? It's about ensuring that you do have the Champions League spot. So keeping all of those things in mind, I think, like I said, Arsenal have more to lose by losing this game than Chelsea. So if I were Arsenal, I would come out firing. Like you just
Yeah.
actually have to.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it any other way, like for both teams, like to come out other than coming out firing, because like both teams have most of their players, apart from Arsenal missing Leah Walty, and of course the long-term injuries, which we're obviously not counting since they've been missing since the season started.
Yeah.
Like both teams are in form. Arsenal's just beaten Brighton 4-0 in the League Cup and Palace 5-0 in the WSL. And Chelsea beat Durham and West Ham 5-0 in the League Cup and WSL. So they've just been racking up the goals. Like combined, the two teams have just scored like 19 goals in the last two games. That's
Yeah.
just like 19 goals in the last two games. I
Yeah.
can't, either it's just going to be one of those games where they're just scoring like box to box and it's just madness, or it's going to be one of those games where the two teams are so equal that they cancel each other out and it's like
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah, I really hope it's like a fun game to watch. Even, sometimes like we saw in the Manchester derby, right? Like, loads of goals, but at the same time, like tactically, like Gareth Taylor fully failed,
Yeah,
and that's never fun to watch, right? So I hope even if there like aren't a lot of goals, at least it's like an interesting tactical battle between the two managers, um,
yeah,
who are both on, like, I think the other little gold star that one of them might end up getting is ending the other person's unbeaten run.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
because Chelsea have been unbeaten for like 18 games
My
under
God, that's just
Bompastor.
mad. Chelsea are just mad. Like Soniabompastor, I can't imagine how they've just been
Yeah,
like,
and the other thing is like I think they Arsenal are unbeaten for like 13 games under Slagers, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe a bit fewer, I'm not sure. But so there's that also, like who's gonna end, like I'm sure I will not go on Twitter because Arsenal fans will lose their mind if they end Bombastor's unbeaten run. So I will
Oh
steer
my
clear of
God.
but
Yeah. I mean, they're
uh,
insufferable to begin with, so they'll just be like, I love you, Arsenal fans. Please watch our videos, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. But yeah, I think Chelsea, like you said, there aren't any injuries, but I think an interesting thing will be to see who starts on the right wing, because
yeah,
both Lauren James and Johanna Ritten are coming back from injuries. So it'll be interesting to see. And I think in terms of like the energy that you were talking about, Emma Sanders had tweeted yesterday saying that um, Chelsea have sold 34,000 tickets, which is amazing. It's going to be like a Stamford Bridge WSL record, apparently, which is very cool.
wow.
Um, yeah, so hopefully we see about 35,000 people there. And hopefully it's not all Arsenal fans sitting in the home end, because they do stuff like that. You will not believe, for the last the last semifinals against Barcelona, where we actually sold out Stamford Bridge, like there are these Barcelona fans who are like Barcelona and Arsenal fans. They were sitting in the home end, and
Oh
you know what?
God.
I mean, as it is, we were losing, and it killed the mood. But my God, I do not want to see any of that nonsense.
Come on, Arsenal fans. You are kind, do the opposite. Um, but like I'll be happy to see like a lot of people. I hope that the attendance increases from there. There's still time to get those tickets and go see the game if you are in the, in the locality vicinity, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, this is also like, speaking of like Sleggers ending Bombastor's run, this is also like the first real test for Sleggers. Like, it's like uh huge crowds, big derby game, away fixture. So, it'll be like hostile environment.
Mm.
So it's her and she's just been appointed to the manager position. So, like for her, I think it'll be a really like a defining experience in terms of like how we see her as a manager going forward in
Yeah.
high pressure situations.
I also think it'll be a defining experience for her in that she'll personally check if they brought the right socks. Um, this time around, she's like, "Show me the kit. Show me the kit." Yeah. Anyway, but
Coming to like the game itself, what do you like? What are the some of the matchups that you're really excited about? Is there anything that like really stands out to you?
you know what? In the reverse fixture, I had flagged off Lucybronze versus Caldente, and I think in that match, I am not sure if Caldente started or if she was playing more centrally, but Caitlin Ford was the one who was causing Lucybronze a lot of trouble. But
Yeah,
I suspect that Caldente will start on the left hand side this time, and it's going to be an interesting test for Lucybronze. When the reverse fixture happened, I don't think Bronze had quite settled into the team as well as she
yeah,
has now. And I think she's had a string of decent performances.
yeah.
So she's also, has she got any rest? I think she did get rested a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that battle. And also, I think both battles are up front on the pitch, like Ramirez versus the center backs, their center
Yeah,
backs
I
as
I was also going to say the same thing. I mean, like Arsenal depend on Leah Williamson's distribution. You know, when they're passing out from the back, I think that's one of the biggest strengths. The fact that there's Leah Williamson there present to distribute and like to start the attack.
well.
She's the one who changes defense into attack, and she was amazing against Palace. So I'd like to see more of that. But you know, at the same time, I feel like Ramirez is one of the best pressers in the league, and like she's just such a presence in and around that area. So I feel like that battle of like the Arsenal centre backs versus Myra, I think especially Williamson, I think that is just going to be like the defining battle of the game.
Yeah, I'm actually really intrigued to see how how both teams approach the game, right? Like Chelsea are obviously at home, but we did see Chelsea playing Man City, uh, saying, "Hey, you know what? Keep the ball. We'll see what we can do after 70 minutes." I wonder if that will be the approach or if it's going to be because I sometimes feel more comfortable when Chelsea play without the ball.
Yeah,
Um, because for us defensively we just look rubbish in transition, like
yeah,
because our center backs don't have the recovery pace. It's just like, if you lose the ball somewhere in the middle third and then like people run, our center backs can't seem to catch up. So in that sense I do feel like, avoiding those moments of transition might actually work in Chelsea's favor. It'd be
yeah,
interesting to see, but I also feel like, Bompastor has been saying like time and again in press conferences that we want to be a team that plays with the ball. Like I
yeah,
want us to be better on the ball, but at the same time, she did come up with that strategy for the Man City game. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe she thinks of this game as like having a point to prove that
yeah,
my team, I've been with this team for say over 6 months now. So I have made this team or converted this team into like a group that can play with the ball,
yeah.
comfortably.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've been watching Arsenal play for the last couple of like weeks under Sleggers, and I I feel like Arsenal are slightly better on the ball than Chelsea. And which will mean that, I don't know who will win. It could be like the Man City game where City had the possession, but Chelsea had all the best chances and, like they won the game eventually, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the possession stats will be in Arsenal's favor. Like,
Hmm.
irrespective of who wins the game, I do think Arsenal will have more of the ball.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that. I think, like in my head, that Man City game was a bit of a blip because they lost Laurenhemp so close to that game, right? I feel like they couldn't figure out another strategy. They still haven't figured it out, I feel. But at that point, at least they didn't have enough time to figure out how to
Yeah,
move their attack, how to push their attack forward. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be a fun game. Um,
yeah. Definitely
yeah.
fun game. Do you want to do lineups?
Ooh, yes.
Let's do
Yeah.
Chelsea first, considering it's they're the home team, they're the hosts.
Yes. Okay. You know, Chelsea have not lost at home to Arsenal in quite some time. The last time they lost to Arsenal at home was in October of 2018. So that's also going to be interesting.
2018. That's a really long time.
Yeah. Can you see it fully?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. Okay, so we are looking at Chelsea first. Oops. Um, we have Hannah Hampton, I'm guessing, who'll go in goal. Back four of bronze, bright. Oh,
Where
yeah.
is she? Oh.
Yawn.
What's the
I
player's
feel like,
called Bright, apparently.
yeah, there's a person called Bright. I think Neve Charles will probably get a start now that she's back.
Yeah,
Um, I think for me, like I'm a little unsure about the rest of the pitch because I mean we have very few defenders anyway at this
yeah,
point. So, I mean, surely Cuthbert is going to play, and I think it'll
Yeah,
be
I mean,
four two
I
three
feel like
one. But
Cuthbert you can just write into every Chelsea team.
correct, yes. If Cuthbert is not there, we're losing. That's just how the
Yeah.
energy is usually. You know what? Last time when we did play Durham, I thought Orange Francois had a really good game.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, Cuthbert and Nuskin do have that, like that chemistry, so to speak,
Yeah, plus
because
I
they've
would play
been.
Lucien simply because she if she's been rested, I think the imagination, I guess, is that she would play this game.
Yeah, I think so too. And I feel like, yeah, Nuskin enjoys a London derby.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm assuming Macario will play the 10, I think. Um, should I change the formation to like a 4-2-1-3? Maybe I will. Where is it?
Why
Ah,
not?
yeah, there we go. So I
Yeah.
feel like Macario will play here, and I think Lauren James will start over um, Johanna
There she is.
Rittenkanerud. Yeah, and I think Wrighton will start over Baltimore just because Wrighton started in the game against Durham, so my assumption was, hey, is Bompasso going to start Baltimore in this game? My question. But I feel like Wrighton is such a big game player, right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like Wrighton, Ramirez, I feel like both of them are big game players. Like Myra Ramirez, especially, like she just like disappears in games. Like she can't score against Durham, right? But she will like score against the best centre back in the world, like Alex Greenwood.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
it's that kind of energy that kind of makes me wonder how this operates. But yeah, that is probably my Chelsea lineup ka prediction.
I mean, it looks really good. I especially like that Macario's there. So I feel
Yeah.
like this is like a lineup that could win, like possibly.
Yeah, I'm honestly happy with how Macario has been playing. I feel like she's been getting like a good run of games finally in a
Yeah.
Chelsea shirt. It's been
I,
so long. And I feel like Macario and Ramirez work really well together. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
nice. Yeah. All right, let's go to
Okay,
Arsenal
let's
now.
go to Arsenal then.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Yay. Okay, I would put Van Domselaar in goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, After that, I would put Williamson and Catley in centre back. I would
Yeah.
like, Arsenal played a back three against Palace, but
Hmm.
I think she was just trying new things. I don't think she'll experiment with this game. So it's just
Right.
going to be a back four,
Hmm.
in my opinion. So like 4-3. Can you change it to 4-3-3?
4-3-3. Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. I would put McCabe and Fox as fullbacks.
Yeah.
Um,
And
then put Little, Manum, and Cooney Cross in the midfield. I thought
hmm.
about this whether to put Russo behind Manum or Manum behind Russo, but like I just felt like Russo's been scoring and doing really well, you know, in that number nine position. So I didn't want to mess with that for Arsenal.
Hmm.
I feel like they'll put Manum in the midfield and put Russo ahead of
Yeah.
her.
So Russo ahead of her?
Yeah, Russo ahead of her.
Okay.
And then Ford has had some fitness issues. So I
Hmm.
feel like he'll probably be on the bench. So
Okay.
I would start Caldente and Mead.
Caldente on the left, right?
Yeah.
I have to confirm that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks really good. I think I am obviously, Arsenal's fullbacks have been in good form. I think Katie McCabe has had like a really, like a quietly good season. I think
Yeah,
she's put in like a solid 7.5 performance pretty much every game.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, and also fullbacks is one area, obviously. The other one is the midfield. I
yeah.
do think again, like I sometimes worry that Nuskin is just going to ghost, and then Cuthbert will have to do all the work. But we'll have to see. All right, I think that's that. So that is our predicted Arsenal lineup. So Ash, I think we have nothing left to do but do a prediction for the game.
Yeah. What you go first. I feel like my prediction. I don't have a prediction.
Um, I am gonna say, um, I'm gonna say 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah,
I mean
this
that's
never
fair.
happens. This never happens. I never predicted favor of Chelsea in like a derby game, like ever. Oh god, that's a
I mean,
scandal.
you're a fan. You got to back your team. I
Yeah.
always predict Spurs in derby games, even though we suck in comparison to Arsenal.
Yeah.
I would go. I feel like this game will be a draw. Both teams'
Hmm.
managers will remain unbeaten. I'm going to go
Right. 2-1.
2-2.
2-2. Okay, that'd be fun. A few goals.
I feel like it's going to
Um,
be a draw. Okay, I feel like since we've done predictions for this game and we didn't do an episode to preview the fixtures, there's
yeah.
no point predicting the Villa and City game because it is currently running, and
Yeah,
Villa are
and Villa
1-0 over
against,
City.
yeah. And with their new manager as well, right? Like a shout out to Natalia Arroyo, who used to formerly coach, be the manager at Real Sociedad. So it's going to be interesting to see. She's somebody who's come through the Barcelona academy as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Villa play under her. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, let's do the prediction anyway. What do you think?
Yeah.
Villa versus City.
Well, now that Villa scored one goal, and Villa absolutely cannot hold on to a lead. Like I wouldn't expect them to hold on to a lead against City anyway, but even if it was Palace, they couldn't hold on to this lead. So I'm gonna go 3-1 City.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 2-1 City. Like, I still have
It's
faith
gonna
in
be
City.
funny when Villa win this game.
But oh
I'm
my
telling
God,
you.
I really hope Villa beat them. Like, I'm predicting a City win, but I'm just like in my heart, I'm just going, Villa, come on, you can do it.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Okay.
Palace versus Spurs.
Yes. I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
Uh, 2-1 Spurs. I'm also going to go 2-1 Spurs.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Leicester versus Liverpool.
Ooh, Leicester at home versus Liverpool. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Yeah, because Leicester can't score. I'm yeah, I'm also gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-0 Liverpool.
Hmm.
And then West Ham versus Everton.
Oh, that's going to be a spicy one, isn't it? I think both teams are like somewhere doing a few things right. And you said you were very impressed with Gago, the new signing
Yeah.
that Everton have. Um, I think West Ham are like running on some, like they've got some form and like there's been some positive vibes
Yeah, they just
with a
knocked
good.
us out of the cup.
Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna go to no. I think it'll be a goal fest. I'm gonna go 4-3 West Ham.
Wow, 4-3. You think
Yeah.
Everton scored 3 goals?
They have a new striker, so who knows?
I'm gonna go 3-1 West Ham.
Okay.
More conservative estimate. Who would have thought 3 goals is conservative?
Yeah.
Um, okay, now the blockbuster fixture after the Derby game is
Hmm.
United versus Brighton. I mean, Brighton, I don't know about their form recently. It's been really bad, but if you can
Yeah.
call it a blockbuster,
Yeah, I mean, it has a potential to be a blockbuster, but like my concern, and obviously I am concerned for Brighton and not for United, because um, my concern is like how well United pressed Man City. Um, and so now we know what they're capable of doing. Whether or
yeah,
not they execute it is a different question. But Brighton have shown how vulnerable they are when they're pressed. It's
yeah,
probably one of those teams that will just turn over the ball. I feel like they can compete with, like, say, a team like Spurs in terms
yeah.
of turning over, playing out from the back, right? Like, this is like how they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So, yeah,
I mean, nobody is as bad as Spurs, to be fair.
uh, but Brighton can really compete. I feel like even Chelsea can compete sometimes, playing out from the back like as poorly as they do. Mm,
Yeah,
But you know what? I feel like Brighton have had it's really going it's going to be interesting to see how they respond because they've had two really bad games.
yeah,
Um so and one of them I feel like they do feel they should have won, which is the one against Liverpool that they dropped all 3 points.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say that it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yes.
I
Because I
feel like
feel
this
like
is
Vidicic
Brighton
is going to shout at all of them and be like, be better. But I mean, like like tactically, I can see where the problem is, which is like not
Yeah,
having Fran Kirby, and I don't think she's going to be back. So I don't know how Vidicic sorts that out, and I think a lot of it is also on him to sort it out.
I thought personally, I think United are just going to thrash them. Like, I
Yeah.
think United are in great form,
Hmm.
and they've been racking up the points. They're wanting to be like second or third on the table. So I have a feeling that United are going with a lot of confidence. Uh, are going to have a lot of confidence, and I feel like I feel like it's going to be like a 4-0 or a 5-0 type of performance.
Oh.
I'm going to go 4-0 United.
Whoa, that's a fun prediction. Let's see. I mean, I also feel like Brighton are like right now best of the rest, and they are. You see this happening with a lot of teams, right? Like they have a good first half of the season, and they kind of
Yeah,
just fade away.
yeah,
And I feel like Brighton need to ensure that they don't do it because they need to put in the work to ensure
yeah,
that they hold on to that number 5 and maybe even push City for that fourth spot.
yeah.
So they're gonna have to turn up in matches now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like, although I also feel like, sometimes it just takes a little while for people to get used to the way you play. And once they know what your weaknesses are, you just sort of get exposed. And I feel like
Hmm.
that there's a little bit of that happening with Dario Vidishik, which is like when he started, it was all like gung ho and it was all like cheery, and Brighton was just like demolishing opposition and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then like everybody figured out how they play. I mean, it's not that hard to see, but like everyone figured out a game plan against how they play, where
Exactly.
to press them, where the weaknesses are. And I feel like part of it is they're rusty when they came back, but part of it is also that people now know where to attack Brighton.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and
Uh,
see.
anyway, it remains to be seen. Will Arsenal 1-0 up? So great, that's good on them. Um, that brings us to the end of this episode. I'd like to remind everyone to like, to subscribe, and make sure you put some comments down if you have any thoughts about the episode, anything you want to say about our analysis, or any ideas you have for future episodes. Please put it in the comments. Like the in the last episode, like we've been very fortunate, but because every single episode we have been gaining at least like 1 or 2 subs, which is slow but steady. And so we haven't released an episode where we haven't got subs, and we haven't released an episode yet where we haven't got comments. So I would be really happy if that trend continued, because it just we like it when there's engagement. Otherwise it feels like we're speaking into a void, you know. So I really hope that you'll say you know, like, give your thoughts and tell us some feedback so we can improve, because we're new at this. And anyway, that brings an end to my ramble, and to an end to this episode. I hope it's a great game week 12. So we'll see you on the other side of it. Bye bye.
I